mic is on.
Okay. Okay, so over to the developers for the sprints 24.
Okay. Hi David. So let me share my screen. Okay. So is my screen visible, David?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So first backlog, that is Go Audio App Sprint 24. So let me. I have taken this time AUD 838. That is the last one in the sprint. FOG metadata duration. That is duration varies for some of the tracks inconsistently up to 3 to 4 minutes. So for this, actually, we have mailed in the yesterday's conversation, and the thing is actually we have found the repeated file names, and we have changed that is the file name names in the server, and we have got the bill. And let me show you the demo. So is my emulator screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, so let me go to focus on grammar. Oh, yeah, just a minute. Yeah. So if you see FOG level 3, 4, 5, the first track in the unit 1, that is 101P, that is 4 read. See, if you see all these tracks in these levels, there was a mismatch in the track duration which was given by Dave. So now it was fixed, and file names changed in the server also. Let me show it in the level 4 also. See, if you see, for fourth level, the first unit is 2 minutes and 49 seconds. In the fifth level, I'll just go for it. Yeah, if you see, the first track is 4 minutes and 27 seconds duration. So this was all about the issue, and we have fixed, and it was tested. Yeah, that's all about the issue. So do you have any queries, David?
So you have already changed the file name, so this has been done. Is that correct? Yes.
Yes, yes. So let me.
Okay. One question, because there was another issue. I believe this was a separate issue concerning the fact that there were some mismatches between the lengths of recordings that you wrote to Dave. Was that done as well?
No, the thing is actually two issues were reported, David. One is, let me show the Excel sheet. Just a minute. Okay, see, this is a sample. The first issue is, see, in the fourth level, see, if you can see the in sheet, in red it was marked as, that is in red, right? So for fourth level, 2 minutes and 49 seconds. So sometimes it was displaying wrong. So due to that repeated file names, so that issue was resolved now. Okay, so the next issue is, if you see that in the blue color we have marked, right, 2 minutes and 56 seconds. So let me explain about that issue.
I can't hear you now.
Yeah, just a minute.
Okay, all right, okay.
Let me, just a minute. Okay, so for some of the issue was, for some of the track, there was a delay in 1 second duration. See, for an example, in sheet, it was marked as 2 minutes and 56 seconds. For some of the audios in our app, so the duration is marked as 2 minutes and 55 seconds. So this issue, it was mainly occurred due to the player. See, for an example, let me open it. Just a minute. Yeah, if you can see, the issue was actually in FOG. Okay, so for some tracks, actually, the audio was 1 second delay inside our app. So this we have identified that it is because of different players we are using. See, for an example, if you are playing through the web browser, it was showing some other second. And if you're playing through the Android player, so it is showing some second. So that was an issue reported by our QA. So we have identified that this is due to the player. How it was taking. So, but we can't able to fix that actually because player is taking that in their own. Yeah.
But it's always just a matter of 1 second, not more.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a matter of a second.
Okay, so I would leave it. I would keep it as it is, and I would release the app then.
Yeah, sure.
Because
So,
this is a bug, but it's not very serious. If it was a difference of 10 seconds, then it would really make sense. But and how about iOS? Because you said that Android. How about iOS?
yeah, the same. So for different players, different seconds are taking. So maybe I can show the difference. Yeah. So here I have, yeah, just a minute. See, in the screenshot, actually, we are just playing an audio through the browser from server directly. See, if you the duration of this is 1 minute and 32 seconds. Okay, but in case of some other browser or the audio list which are given by Dave, it was 1 minute and 31 seconds like this. So in iOS also the same issue, 1 second delay. So what? Yeah.
Okay, all right. So it's the same in Android and in iOS.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I would still say that well, it's not a big issue. So I would if we cannot do anything about that, and so then I would keep it as it is.
Yeah. Okay. So this was the two things which was reported in this bug. So do you have any other queries, David?
One question: do these mismatches of seconds appear in all recordings or in some selected recordings?
In some selected recordings, David.
I see. And how many of them do you remember, more or less? I'm not saying precisely, but 10 or 2?
No, more than 10 in all the levels when we can talk.
Okay, so about 10, 11, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, more than that.
More than that, okay. Because the only thing that I'm thinking about is that this app displays seconds only in the app, not in the browser. So,
yeah.
But it would make a lot of... No, let's leave it as it is, because now we must move on to the Epic app. Well, the difference is just 1 second, so I would keep it as it is.
Okay. Yeah. So do you have any other queries?
Nope, not now. But I need to test the app and release it if everything is okay. So I would need the instructions on how to install it, because I wrote to Karthik about that, and he said you would send them to me, but I haven't received them yet.
Yeah, sure. We'll just have one. So do you need both iOS and Android, or Android alone, or anything? how you will feel comfortable?
I would test it on both. Just this is going to be my first release in this company, so let me do that thoroughly and let me do both.
Okay.
I'm gonna learn something new as well.
Yeah.
Because I can for iOS, it's no problem because I use an iPhone every day, so you can add my test flight if you test it using test flight. As for Android, I have no experience with testing better apps, so I would need detailed instructions if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure, David. The same thing that is for Android, we'll be using the Play Store for alpha testing. So we'll just see how to install and how to test the in-app purchase and all the things.
Okay, brilliant. Okay.
Yeah. So after this meeting, we'll just give you an build.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you want me to close the sprint now, or we can do that after the meeting?
Not now, David. We still have 2 more issues to review. So I think in those 2 issues we have some minor bugs. So we will review those and then probably we can close it.
Okay.
Okay. And
so
one more question to Ram. Ram,
Yeah.
can you please close that mail thread?
Yes.
We have sent to Dave asking for his help, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
can we?
Yeah.
You can confirm him like we have done the testing from our end and this issue has been.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So yeah. Before that, I just want to confirm. Yeah. Yeah, David. Just we have attached the Excel sheet. Let me open that. Okay. So is the screen visible, David?
Yes.
Okay, see, here as Dave instructed, I have just listed all the MP3 files and I have sorted according to the alphabet. And you have, see, I just highlighted in green color what are all the audios which is repeated and in which level and how I have renamed it, I have added. So if you have any query on it, you can see that. So I'll send this, I'll send an email by attaching this Excel sheet to Dave. So I'll just close the email thread.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's all. Yeah.
That should be fine with him.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Over to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, David. Hi, David.
Hello.
Yeah. So I'll go with the other two issues. AUD 839. So this is about adding the transcripts to the iOS. So just let me show you the demo. So I'm just going into FOG level 1 and so yeah. So you can see here we have the transcripts, and when I play, you can see it gets highlighted. Can you hear the audio?
Not now. I can hear you, but not the audio. Okay, now I can hear it.
Okay. So this is about adding the transcripts to the iOS. Can you hear it or not?
I could hear the recording, yes.
Okay. So this is an iOS, and I'll show it in Android as well. You can see here. Can you hear it?
A bird came down the walk. He didn't know I saw. He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow raw. And then he drank a dew from a.
So this is about adding the transcripts to iOS and Android. So that is about these two stories. So nothing much to it. So you have any other queries on that?
Nope.
Can you also list out the minor bugs that has been
So,
found in testing?
So these transcripts are given to us by the content team, Jennifer Castro, I guess. So there were a few minor alignment fix issues in the XML they had sent. So they were very minor, so we decided to fix it ourselves, and we did that. And apart from that, there is one more issue still pending. That is, in some cases the paragraphs are very big. So what happens is, let me just show you the example. So in this, you can see here. If I play it now, so you can see if I let it go, it scrolls to the bottom. So what actually happens is, when the paragraph, like the audio paragraph is bigger, it just scrolls to the bottom automatically. So when in that case, we have to split the paragraphs into smaller ones so that it will be within the viewport of that scroll. So that is the only thing pending right now. So other than that, all those transcript things are done.
Okay.
So right now we are doing that splitting work.
Let me think. Because is it a big deal, or we can do that today?
Sorry?
Can we do that today before it's I mean, because I can hear myself and it's terrible.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We were just thinking about the user perspective. So for us, fine. But then we were thinking like, what would the user think? Maybe if they're very new to English and those kind of things, we were thinking about that. I mean, if you're fine for you can see on a smaller paragraph, so it will not be that big of an issue.
Well, it's not.
So if you are fine, then. And also, we find this issue only in smaller screen devices like 5S. For a big screen, the viewport is generally bigger, and we don't find that issue. So probably we find this only in 5.
Okay, so let's leave it too, and I'm gonna play with the app when I get to the final version and see if it's a big issue. Okay. For now, let's leave it.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so how about the other one?
And so one more issue was that our tester found this issue. So if the player was dragged to the 0 point, it will not play it actually. So first, let me show it once. Just let me connect it again. Yeah. Okay. So the audio is playing right now. When I drag it to 0, so right now Ramkumar has fixed it. So earlier, if we drag it back to 0, it'll jump back. It'll jump back to where it was earlier. So that issue was found by a tester, and now it's fixed now.
Actually, it was fixed, but we have to provide bill to QA. So
yeah, it's not a tester. We just fixed it. Yeah, a few minutes back.
Okay.
Okay, so for testing, how long do you take, Sindhu? Do you need more time, or you can finish it by end of day, because we are planning to close the sprint now, right? So I am asking. Only for this sprint, or for the whole? Not for the 3, just for the
this one.
First one, yeah. Just for this particular end of the day. Okay. So this is with respect to iOS, right?
No, it's common for both
Common
Android
for
and
both,
iOS. Yeah.
okay. In Android, we can read.
No. This was in iOS. Yeah, this was in iOS. Can you explain? So, David, there is one more issue pending, which was also recently found. So, what happens is like we have this cancel feature added. So, let me just show it to you. So, while downloading, we also have the option to cancel it. So, what happens is like, sorry, it got downloaded. Okay, so if I download and then cancel, download it and cancel repeatedly, like for say 3 or 4 times or more than 4 times, what happens is like once it is downloaded, in some of the tracks, the audio duration will not be displayed, and the transcript will also be not updated. So that is the one pending as of now. So we just look into it. So we might have to look into it. It doesn't happen like if we cancel it 1 or 2 times, but if we do it repeatedly, like started cancel it, if we do it like more than 4 times, say, then it happens actually. The track plays, but the duration won't be displayed on that. Like you can see the duration on the right side, right? So this won't be displayed, but the track will be played. So that is the only thing pending now. And we are working on it.
Okay. All right, because this one is more serious, I believe, because this blocks the functionality. Right? So this is the thing. So you are investigating the issue, right?
Sorry?
You are currently investigating the issue.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And you would need.
We just
You would need.
we just found the root cause of the problem, and we are currently doing a fix for it.
Okay. All right, because the problem is that just let me make sure, because if we decide that we want to fix this issue, we need to add this to another sprint, right? We need to start another sprint in this app. Is that correct?
This will get spilled over to the next sprint, and we will have to work
No,
on
this is a new bug, right? I mean, it is not related to any story. It's found.
Yeah. When was this found actually? Is it an existing one or it occurred only after this fix?
I couldn't hear you very well, so could you repeat that?
No, David, we were just related to any of the story taken in this print, or it is an existing bug.
I have found this when I tested the transcript.
It was not occurring previously, but right? Or
no, that's what I think.
So it's generally existing bug.
Okay, so what is your suggestion, Evan? You want to close the story and then take it as a different bug in the next
separate bug.
Okay, is that fine with you, David?
Okay, could you say it again now?
We actually decided to take it as a separate bug and close it. We'll close the current stories, and we'll take it as a separate bug. This issue that I just mentioned you.
Because this issue found it was not related to that bug actually. So we'll take it as a bug in the next sprint
and finish it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. For you?
Yeah, but the only question that I have actually is, so we need to start another sprint or not, because I'm not sure how you organize that.
Okay, we need to we need to start a new sprint, and then we will drag the issues or the bugs for the next sprint, and then we will work on it for the next 2 weeks, David.
Yes, but I would like to work on the Epic app, not the Pearson Go app, and I would like to release the Pearson Go app, and I have no idea what to do at the moment.
Okay. So, do you have a, specific date for releasing the Pearson Go app, David?
Not necessarily, but actually, Gerald asked me to close the sprint and release the app.
Okay. So, one second, David. So, Adil, how long do you think that would take you to fix that particular that bug? Because that is the only blocker, right, for the release.
Yes.
I mean, that should include both the testing as well.
Okay. You mean regression testing or just
No,
testing
just
for
the
this
unit
issue?
testing. After that, we have to do a regression testing.
Okay, so so 2 days.
2 days, which includes testing as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Okay. So we need 2 days to fix the bug, David. And later, when everything is fine from our end, meaning the developer's end, the QA will do a regression testing.
Okay.
So,
Alpha build.
yeah, we will provide the alpha build to the QA, and they will complete the
Regression
alpha testing, which is the regression testing. And once they provide the approval, we will send the build to beta testers, and then they will do a round of testing, and then they should provide a go approval. So once that is done, we will send it for developers review. So once that is all, we can release the app.
Okay. All right. So it is not going to take much for developers, and that's good news. Okay.
Right. So I guess we can release the app in the next sprint, David. We can have a separate story for regression testing and this bug, and we can release it in the by end of next sprint.
Usually,
Okay.
what we do is we'll take this release as a task, and then take it up on a sprint release task, and then the regression, beta testing, and the release things will be done.
Okay, that's fine. That would be okay.
Yeah. Okay. So,
okay.
So then we can take up this bug and complete with the release, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So what is next? Can you close that story from our end, Adil?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Screen is not shared. Okay, it's fine. Just close it. So that we can close this sprint now.
Yeah, okay.
Both the stories, right? Yeah, we have closed the stories from our end, David.
Oh, you're speaking to me. I see. Okay. I could hear that. Could you close the story? But I wasn't sure who you were speaking to. So, which one was that? Could you give me the number?
AUD 839 and AUD 840.
840. Okay, so these two. So I'm closing just these two, but I'm not closing the sprint. Is that correct?
No, we have closed the stories from our.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. Okay, so you are speaking to me. Okay. All right. Closed and closed. I can see that. Okay.
So, are you done with closing the sprint?
Okay. So I should close the sprint. Yes. Because I can't hear you very well, I can hear myself, and it's a bit problematic in some moments. Okay, so I always have problems with closing the sprint because I always forget where to do that. Okay, active sprints. Right, here we are.
And top right, you have this complete sprint.
It seems I don't have it.
You don't. Maybe I'll just share my screen and then show you.
Yeah. Okay.
So can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see your screen.
So I am in active sprint tab, and then at the top right, I see complete sprint here, the link.
Oh yeah, but it's grayed out for me.
Oh, okay. Maybe I think some permission issue. So I'll look into it, and if not, I'll raise a support ticket for you.
Okay.
So next time maybe you can complete it.
Okay.
For now, I have given the sprint successfully completed.
Okay. Brilliant.
Okay. So should we move on to the sprint 0 review, or should we directly move to the sprint 1 planning?
You mean in the Epic app, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I think we can close the sprint 0. We do not need to go through a review for that. So let me see if I can close this one.
Sure.
Nope, unfortunately. Oh yeah, because some of things are to do. Okay, so may I move them to done, or do you want to do that yourselves?
Hey, do we have anything in open status? Everything is closed, even the subtask. Okay. So, let me try giving complete. No, there are incomplete subtasks under 21, 20, and 26. Can you please quickly check? Just a minute, David. Task that has been not closed. We'll be able to close it only if all the subtasks are closed.
Yeah, sure.
20, 21, and 26. Second 20, 21. Huh? Okay, who's 21? Dina is not. 26? Closed. Yours is done. Can someone close Dina's?
Yeah, that's fine.
Done? Okay. Can we try now?
No, just a minute.
Okay. Sorry.
Can you check now?
Okay. One issue was incomplete.
Number?
It's not showing a number. You have reopened and it is not closed. Sorry for the delay, David. Just a minute.
Okay, no problem.
Done.
No, he's not able to close.
Okay.
No, 60.
You have to open.
Okay.
resolution, right? Let me try now. David, we are done with the Sprint 0 closure, so we can start with
Great.
planning. So I have created the sprint here. If you can see Sprint 1. So what we have to do is we have to drag the issues
Yes.
from the backlog to the sprint, and then we have to start the start sprint.
Okay. All right. So,
Now that
yes. Okay. Do you want me to start now?
just a minute. I have one more thing to share. I forgot. Just a velocity tracker for the current sprint. I mean the next sprint. So the sprint starts from tomorrow, 9th August, and ends on 22nd August. So in between, if you see 14th August and 15th August, which falls on Monday and Tuesday, it's a public holiday for the Chennai team. And we have 2 planned leaves in between. So the total velocity for the team for the next iteration is 35. 2 planned leaves and 2 public holidays. Yeah. And I would like to introduce our new UI developer. His name is Mohammed Sheikh. He was working in. Oh, just a second. I'll just. Can you see us?
Just small. You're very small. Yeah, but I can see you. Yeah, I can see you now. Okay. You're not that small. Yeah.
Okay. So he'll be working with us for the Epic app.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So done from our end. So over to you. You can share your screen for the planning session.
Okay, so let me do that. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So even today, I updated a number of issues here, right? Because I started working on that last Tuesday, and the situation is changing all the time. So one thing that appeared today was that in order to create the table of contents, it would be best if we could use a system that is called PEF. Let me find it. PEF content component, and this is capable of displaying the table of contents. I provided you with a link to the API. And this system is actually developed in Poznan. So if you have any questions and they are not answered by the API docs, then you can contact me and I can arrange a meeting or a discussion with the team here. Another thing is that, let me find it now. Let me see my notes. So waiting for some example. Yeah, and I'm still waiting for some example TOC. So for an example table of contents, if I don't receive it soon, I will prepare a different one. And this is just for your testing, right? So this is it. Another issue that we discussed was that the app was supposed to send scores that could be displayed in the table of contents. And I was trying to figure out how to do that, and it turned out that these packages are tin can compliant. You probably know what tin can is. However, I also have a link to documentation in case you need it for some reason. Okay, so this is it, and it is all described in the issues. So this is it. So this is just for start. Well, my dream would be to have, starting from here, these issues from here to have done in the first sprint. I wonder if it's possible, though. How do we do that? How do we discuss that, if we can?
till can we know the numbers till which one are you talking about?
So starting from this one, so I want to open the app and see a tabbed menu, right? And here, as soon as I want to remember, I have got access to a particular product to avoid the necessity to scan the code again. So all these. Are we capable of doing that in one sprint?
Include the basic creation of screens in all pages, and whatever we had discussed in the mockup, if I'm not wrong,
Well, could you speak up a bit because I can't hear you?
Sorry, I was just telling that does it basically include whatever we have discussed in the mockup, or does it include some other issues? I mean, stories also.
Well, no, we just stick to this one. However, my note is that if a description and mockups are conflicting, right, let me know. If you can't wait for my decision, follow the mockups. So if it turns out that there are some conflicting elements, that in the description there is something else than in the mockups, there shouldn't be. But if it turns out, then go for the mockups, right? And that would be it.
Even Sheikh feels that the mockup is very clear and he will be able to work along with it because Zeppelin is a good tool. He was telling us the same.
Could you repeat and speak up a bit again?
Sheikh was exploring the mockups yesterday. We had the Axis UI designer, and he was telling that the mockups are really good and he will be able to use Zeppelin itself.
Great. Okay. And one question, but did he review which mockups? These in Zeppelin?
Yeah, in Zeppelin
ones.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, these are the better ones. Okay, all right. So how do we discuss if it's all feasible to do in this first sprint? Did you analyze these elements or do what?
Actually, from the dev team, we just looked into those issues and we were just looking into them so that if we have any queries, we can just ask them before. But then as far as now, we don't have any queries.
So are you all clear? Please ensure to clarify your, if you have any dependencies, if you think if you have any dependencies or blockers or any kind of clarifications, please utilize this plan. No?
No, we don't encourage.
Yeah, if you have any, then you can contact me. I'm just asking if I can add all these to the first sprint. That's my question.
Okay, we have 2 public holidays as well, so we need to consider that as well. So, right?
Okay, louder.
I mean, just give us a number. How many? At least each we have 5 developers, so can each person take 2 stories? I mean, the stories are granular, so we can. Okay, I am on that. The stories. If so, 4 weeks before today, right? Then we have only 4 weeks.
Yeah.
No,
Actually, David, we have a practice here. Like 2 days before the review, the dev will have to freeze the code because before 2 days, QA will have testing. I mean, the time for testing. So we were just wondering if we have to do the same for this sprint also. It's going to be like of a POC thing. Do we need a kind of testing or?
Not for this sprint. Not for this sprint. We would need to have it in the second sprint, and the second sprint is going to have many fewer tasks because then we would have just these tasks. However, I believe there are going to be bugs that would need to be addressed after the first sprint. And there might be some polishing changes too. That's why I would prefer to make this first sprint a bit more tough and the second sprint be much lighter.
Okay.
Okay. So otherwise, how about we do the estimation now and then we'll come to a conclusion?
Okay.
Is that okay, Pradeep?
Yeah, okay.
estimate for each of the stories that you have mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can look at the possibilities. Okay. So, shall I present? I think we lost David, right? Yes. Hi, David. Can you
David?
hear us? Let me share my screen so that we'll be ready. Once he joins back. David, can you hear us? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello. Okay, now I can see.
Okay, fine. So let me open the stories one by one. Okay. Either I can open the app and see the chapter at the bottom. So, destination PC. I think it's a small one, right? One or 2 points? 3 points?
Yes. Completed. Yeah. We have this revision. Yes.
It is the creation of the tabs alone. You're not going to give any functionality for each tab.
No. Yes.
For this story alone,
It's not functionality in the sense we need to navigate to different pages for the tab. The same thing.
uh-oh. It's missing.
No, you can directly over the right. Or is it estimate.
Not estimation. We'll be having a separate.
Yeah, it's there. Story points.
Is it?
Yeah, I saw that. In configure physics.
Okay, then it should be listed here.
Try searching.
I can't find that story points here.
It's feature. It's under as feature.
Yeah, that is right. We should type it. That is correct.
I think estimate.
Okay, I'll just note it down and then.
David, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay, I thought we lost you. Okay.
David, sorry, unfortunately, story points text box is missing. So I'll have to raise a ticket for that, I guess. So meantime, I'll just note it down so that I'll add the points later in the tool. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for this story alone, are we just going to? It's more like design portion, right? Or any other functionality is included in this story? Communication.
Yeah.
It's just the entries, right?
We have the question like in this story, should we just create the tabs or should we include the navigation portion also to all the 4 tabs?
No, you need to repeat that and speak up a bit because I can't hear you.
David, the query is like for the first story, PMOB 30, should we create the just the tabs alone, or should we give the functionality and the navigation part also to all the 4 tabs?
for all of them, but they are described in other issues.
Okay.
So we just create an empty tabbed menu where you can switch between tabs. However, the contents of these tabs are described in separate issues.
Our query was like, suppose if it's only the UI works, it would require less points. But then if you have to give the navigation and the functionality also, it would take some more points. That's why we just wanted to clarify it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what is the question? Could you repeat the question?
No. I just asked you the question.
Okay. All right. Okay. So it's clear now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to switch between the tabs.
Yes.
Navigation part also is there.
Click on button.
Four tabs. Three. Is everyone okay for
Yeah, 3 is fine.
Okay, the team fixes 3 here, David.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next one.
Tab by default.
I'll open. Easily access a table of contents.
Just a query. Since table of contents. See lessons.
No, it will be inside the home tab. So we just have to make sure it goes to home tab by default.
Are you
That's all.
asking like table of contents will be added here in the story, or it will be separate?
In the story, default easily access the table of contents.
Table of contents.
We'll be listing the table of contents, or just will be when we open the app,
I
the
think
home
that
screen
is
Yeah.
in theme of 35. You see theme of 35. I want subject.
You can see in the acceptance criteria.
Menu
units,
sample contents.
right?
Okay, then we can change the description.
No, you can see in the acceptance criteria now.
We can change the description because this is actually misleading. Because if I may interrupt you, because well, we do not display the table of contents yet, right? You just need to have just one open default tab, and this I would like to be the home tab, and the table of contents is described in another issue, right? So we can change it to open by default to have a default tab. That's it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to update it immediately after the sprint planning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
So, David, the screen would be the Epic screen or the next screen to that, like the courses screen or the unit screen should we display for this one?
No, that is not part of this.
Courses.
For,
Just have to go to
at this point, it's going to be empty. What it's going to display is described in another issue, right? Because it depends whether it is, whether this is a user has unlocked any courses or not, right? So you're going to see that in a second. For now, at this point, it's just a blank page, but we open the tab on the first page, and that's it.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
David.
Mm-hmm.
1 point. So moving on to the next one, theme of 33. Menu of products when you open the app for the first time and have no content assigned to see.
Okay.
Tutorial.
Yeah.
Tutorial.
Yes, yeah.
No, we have to list the product.
So David, this will be like a demo screen, or can you explain?
No, it's going to be the first screen that you open where you have this button for the Epic product. It's similar to the one in the Pearson Go app, where you open, you have focus and grammar, top-notch Go, and so on. So it's exactly the same. So you just open it, and you can find it in the mockups.
Okay, David, it would be better if you just share your screen and whichever
mock-up.
story
Yeah.
we are looking on, you can just show us in the mockup. It would be
Okay, no problem.
I think we can have the name.
Okay, you can, excuse me, you can see this courses home. Courses home. So this is the one. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, exactly. This one.
Okay, Okay, maybe I can add this number.
Name to the student.
Yeah, name.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Links.
Can I add in description?
Yeah, sure. Of course. Yeah.
That's
Sorry
okay.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Here,
Thank you.
We'll be adding only epic or just one, three more.
For now,
Yeah, for now only.
Oh, we'll just provide a scroll function. We'll add two or three courses. Then
They have to show the app to stakeholders. So
Just
it
now
would
we
be
will
better.
have only one show.
For
Only
now, the
epic
scroll
concept.
is not required.
no,
David, the scroll functionality is not required for now, right? We are just going to add only one product for now. So the scroll, if required, we can add it later. Is that right?
For now, it's going to be just one. For this working model, it's going to be just one. Let's do it in a way that we do not block the ability to add more in the future. But for now, it's going to be just one.
Okay. So how many points, Steve? 1 point? Majority?
one. Oh, wait, wait. No. Okay, just see what epic alone. What we are showing inside the page and go right. Okay. Submit top notch and likewise we'll show only epic.
But she is asking whether we would display that data. Or
Because in this one is having three courses. It would be course and so we'll be listing course, commit and like this. I'm asking will take it from this one or just the button will be displayed.
review
We
kind of.
have only one course. So I'm asking will be taking it from this button.
I think we need just a button.
Just a button.
Yes.
No, then how will we getting next pages, units and levels?
Like how we did in page and code.
Better
Initial start page will be like it's separate, right?
Yes. See,
After that only, after it going into the course only we have the JSON structure.
yes. See,
Got my
actually
point.
we list all the courses manually. Then we'll go through JSON.
Once inside the course,
Page will be like an index page.
so yeah. So one is fine for me.
One is fine.
On this one? Yes. So do we need to check the clarification?
Yeah.
So moving on to more 32. So I want the app to be able to load the table of content from the file to allow the content to edit it.
This is actually this has actually changed, and it's changed a few minutes before the sprint planning meeting, and I updated the description, but not the title, because as you can see, in the future we might want to load it from a remote source. The format of the file is to be confirmed. For now, let's use JSON generated using PEF content component. So we're going to have and we need to integrate with a PEF content component system, and I provided you with a link to that, right? With a link to docs. Okay, so I need to update it because it changed. About 10 minutes before we started the meeting. So we cannot put a JSON as a file in the binary. We need to integrate with the system at the moment.
Dashboard. So that is the content of the code.
The content structure will be
That based on that PF. Right now we can
API calls, right? From API
See,
calls, we
see,
get the JSON.
see for right now we'll have a JSON in the, but in future we'll be following that JSON generated using that PF format from the
Through API
links.
See,
Okay. Right now we have to use the JSON alone, right? So my question is like, so if we have to create the functionality for the future ones also, or else.
No. We start with the future. Actually, this first sentence is actually not valid anymore, right? We immediately know that we need to integrate with this PEF content component.
Okay. So for the POC itself, we'll be integrating this one, the PEF.
Yeah, and what you're gonna do when we integrate, from what I learned, you are going to integrate with that using the API that I gave you a link to, and you're gonna fetch a JSON file that you're gonna display simply. So you're gonna receive a JSON file from this system, and then you're gonna display it. So it's still going to be a JSON file. However, we immediately fetch it from the remote source. We are not baking it in the binary.
Okay. Will this process be a one-time process, or every time the JSON will get loaded, David?
That's an interesting question. I think that it's better if we load it every time.
Every time. So every time the user opens the app, there should be server calls.
Do I have to answer this now? Because I would need to ask my stakeholders about that.
Okay. Then.
So I'm going to write it down as a question. Okay.
Because.
When can we hear back from you? Structures and how it will be.
Or for the POC, we can use the JSON.
David?
Yes?
So, like.
So, David, regarding the story, when we can expect the confirmation from your end?
It is so ridiculous.
Today.
Today? Okay. So,
by today,
okay.
By today we can, yeah. Fine. Okay. I'll just leave it for now for estimation. Is that fine, or should we go ahead and estimate?
No, we'll estimate once we get the detail from you.
Yeah. Okay. So,
But let's wait. Let me make a decision here now. We're gonna download. Let me make sure. But I would say that we are rather going to download the JSON file, save it on the device, and then load it from the device, from the file each time. However, I need to just make sure that it is possible. Okay, technically.
Okay.
We need to show the table view on that. So in this story, we will just access the JSON alone.
Yeah.
The UI part, displaying it in the application. Okay.
But just let me ask you a question. Is this really that important, whether we're going to save the JSON file on the device or whether we are going to load it every time from the server? Because I don't think it's a big issue here. While this is a very important element, and if we do not estimate it now, we actually cannot estimate the sprint. Because this is a critical component in this app.
The content of the application. It's like for the POC, we have to decide on which one we are going to use.
It's just like an architecture.
Or we can use some sample JSON file to display the contents for the POC alone. Is that fine, David?
Yes, however, can we immediately create this mechanism in which we're going to fetch this from this P content component system. Because, well, I don't know, I don't really know what the issue is, to be honest.
Then we'll just look into it.
Yeah, but I don't know what because what I want is that when you open the app for the first time, right, you are integrated with this PF content component, right, using the API docs that I provide you a link to, and we fetch a JSON file from there, and then we display it, okay? The only question is whether we will always fetch this file from this content component system, or we just fetch it once, save it in the system, and keep it for good. That's the only question that I need to answer, right? Well, I'm wondering if we really need to postpone the estimation now, if this is just a minor question, I think.
Yes, David, because every time if we fetch, if there is any change in the JSON, the user may not get updated. When we open it, you are saying that JSON will have to make the API calls, right? If the user enters into Epic while opening the app, the JSON call should be go to the server, right? If any changes in the JSON, yeah, the user may not get the updated version.
Okay. So let me, could you give me a few seconds? I'm just going to go to another room and ask my colleague if it's possible to save the JSON file in the device. Okay? Would you?
Just the query is not of saving that JSON file. That is each time when the user opens the Epic app, right? That is Epic course. See, if we provide any update to that course, each time when the user opens, then only the user will get all the updates. Otherwise, the content will be static.
Yeah, but I believe that it's going to be that only the first time you open the app, the TOC gets downloaded. You save it to the device, and then you can open it from the device. You do not need to fetch it, and then it's not gonna change.
Okay, David, then I have one more query. The download of JSON will be done after clicking the Epic course, or while opening the app, all the JSONs will be getting downloaded. How will be the download process will handle it?
I believe that when you open the app, well, depending on whether you have already unlocked the course or not, then it's going to load an appropriate place in the table of contents.
So when we display the splash screen, or we have to have some additional screen for that? And
no, we would need to have a loader, right? Loading indicator, something like that.
Some database extraction or something like that. We have to display some messages to the user.
Yeah, exactly. So just give me a second. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go and ask my colleague if it's possible to download the JSON file and keep it on the device, or rather download it every time you open the app. Okay? Just give me a few seconds. All right?
We'll be on mute.
Okay. Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hi,
David.
David.
No, we need to download the JSON file every time when the user opens the app.
Okay.
So it's going to be like a real-time application. Every time the user opens the app, depending on the content, the JSON should get loaded.
Yes, exactly. So we need to fetch it from this PEF content component, fetch the JSON, pass it, and then we can display the content. Yeah.
Okay, David. In that case, if a user is not having any network connections, at that time, what will be displaying to the user?
Yeah, how we are going to count it? Because that
If,
is like a lot.
So if there's no content, so we are fetching JSON and the JSON is empty or something, then we can display a label saying that no course is found or something like that.
The query is, yeah, because we need to fetch those details from the server, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in case if the user does not provide any network connectivity, are we how we are going to show the pop-up? Are we going to redirect to any other page or what?
Yes. I would rather say that it's not going to be a pop. Yeah, let's keep a pop-up. Yeah. So this could be a pop-up. Yeah.
So till the user provides the connection, we'll show the pop-up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me repeat that. So we are displaying. So the user opens the app. We are displaying a loading indicator showing that there is something going on, right? And when it loads, we refresh the view and display the table of contents. If there's no internet connection, we display a pop-up that you need to have internet connection in order to fetch the course. Right?
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Okay, points.
We are displaying it. It includes.
Okay, so for this now, we'll place an sample JSON FTP. Okay, because in that case, we already asked. Displaying pop-up and downloading the JSON.
That is, he has to confirm the EOD to be there.
So we take it.
Yeah, you just estimate, like you don't have a dependency right now. Provide me a point.
We have no idea how
How you the data and data in which place in the device where you're going to place it, and from the data you have to check it.
Internet connectivity.
Everything you have to add.
So the team says 5 points for this story, David.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay with 5 points? Shay, are you okay with 5 points? Sure. So, team, are you done or shall I move on to the next? Team of 334. Here, I want to see a menu of sample content to be able to do that. Browse the table of content.
Okay,
So we checking the unit.
so we need to show the table view one.
table view and expanding functionality.
Expanding functionality.
In between which thing we have.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So this is the one I guess. Table of content.
Epic table of content, right?
Third,
not the third.
sorry.
Okay.
This thing you see.
So this is the screen related to this story, right, David?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So,
And this is going to be loaded from a JSON file that you're going to fetch from a content component system.
So we'll just show the expand and collapse functionality. We'll show the list of all the lessons, units and lessons. Everything will be included, or
in this case, the UI work is more.
no. I'm asking what all we have to do. See, as soon as the user clicks on Epic app, it will fetch all those data, unit and lesson data from JSON file, and we'll display it. This includes expand and collapse. And this will download button we have to enable.
Download and whether expand will be in JSON file or it will be
Download and
in expand download.
download button is the cloud button.
Yes, yes, I'm asking that it will be JSON or separate will be JSON.
No, we'll be placing
We have to
separate.
place it.
We have to. So, okay, so now as of now we won't concentrate on download functionality. We'll just show
Download
expand and collapse.
In center we have the flow.
Which one?
This one?
No, that
This what?
that UI is there, right?
Here we'll be including the functionality for this one and
Yeah.
download and expandable. Everything is included in this story or
No,
just
no.
displaying the levels and units.
Displaying levels. And
Levels and
units.
units. In between we'll be displaying that message also, right?
It's not in between. It will be displayed at the
So
no. David, we have a query here.
David,
Yes.
now we have a query regarding this story.
This QR code functionality should be displayed at the bottom of the
Every
screen,
unit.
or because we don't have the screen one screen here because the units are expanded. So how does it look like before it's getting expanded? Like where will we place the QR code functionality?
No. Okay. So this starts from. Excuse me, I need to. Well, change the volume because I can hear myself. So we start with in this one. We start with courses home, but this is Epic. So we start with Epic Home number 2. So this is the one here in that file is to Epic Home. Then we see.
David,
Your voice is breaking.
Yeah, we lost you.
In the second, in another story, these should be expandable. So unit 1, so you should, when you open Epic and you go to level 1, 2, or whatever, you see a list of units that look like the one with a section header at the top. So you have unit 1 and even umbrella here in this screen that you're displaying at the moment. Yeah, exactly. And when you tap it, then it expands to lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, and so on. So the first thing you see is just a list of these sections. Is that clear now?
No, David, are you sharing your screen or?
Can you?
Do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah.
it would be
Okay.
better.
So I'm doing that. Can you see it?
Yes, David.
Yeah. So when you open the app and go to Epic level 1,
Okay.
you see a list of unit 1, unit 2, unit 1, and here it should be unit 2, unit 3, and so on. There are as far as let's see. No, not this one. Sorry. Unit 1 to unit 8. Right, and then when you tap a unit, you can see lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3. audio video presented like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have expanded that button, arrow button in the top of that unit.
It will expand in the bottom.
No, but that
No,
one screen is missing.
Before
that's what
expanding, how the
I told you.
unit will be.
No, that's what I asked you.
I think.
You mean the level screen?
Yes.
In PDF file it was there.
That's all.
David, you're able to understand our query, am I correct?
See, if user
See, this is
taps on AP codes.
Yes.
So before the unit tab, I mean the unit 1 gets expanded.
Let's open issue number 35, so another one. So PMOB 35, because there you have a list of views that should be displayed there. Can you see the issue number 35?
Yes.
Okay, so we have the following view. So the welcome view is the one with the epic button. When you click it, when you tap it, you're taken to view 2 that is represented in the mock-up in 02 epic hole.
Yes.
And there you can see epic level 1, epic level 2, epic level 8, epic level whatever, until I believe 8. It is described in the 34, issue number 34. Okay, so there are how many levels? 80 levels. There are 8 levels. And when you tap this level 1, right, you're taken to this, let me see, epic table of content. But there is just a list of units that you tap in order to expand them.
David, we are not able to catch up. Could you please come again in this screen alone?
Yeah, by sharing screen.
Sure.
Sharing screen.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So it looks the following. So this is the welcome screen. We have just this one. We tap it. And we are taken to this screen. Right?
Okay.
And when we tap this one, when we tap epic level 1, there we see the table of contents, right? So unit 1, unit 2, unit 3. You tap unit 1 and it expands to this.
Okay. Where do we display this QR functionality here? Because this screen, it's like it's already expanded. So before expanding the units option, where will we display this QR code functionality? Unlock all our practice with the QR.
We don't display those.
Okay.
No. We are going to do another thing. When you open this scan and you scan a QR code in the book, you're taken to
Scan screen.
let me open it. Okay, this screen. It's going to look like that. However, it is not going to display this lesson 2. Or maybe no, lesson 2, yeah, it's going to be there, but we're not going to see unit 6. Look at that. Let me show you that. This pop-up. Right. So we tap this one, number 1. I tap unit 1. I can see a number of lessons. I tap lesson, I download it, and then I see a list of activities. And that's what I see when I scan a QR code.
Okay. Can you please navigate 2 screens back, Ravi?
Okay.
This is the screen we are asking. Right? It's not in the mock-up, right?
It's in the PDF.
Before expansion.
It's not in the screen.
It is there.
It is there.
02 Epic Home.
Okay.
It's here. Exactly.
Sorry, David.
Yeah. So it looks a bit different from this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So remember that if you need to make this decision, I do not answer a question, then it's this one that is the better one.
It does its lessons, the drill down.
One important thing that has just appeared to me, that this element is actually we're going to fetch it from a remote source. And I learned that a few minutes before we started. And the problem is that I provided a fixed table of contents, while it is going to depend on the JSON file. I will do my best to make it look like that, but it may change a bit. Right? But I'm still waiting for an email if we're going to receive no, I still haven't received it. If we are going to receive this file.
Okay. Okay. So, shall we continue with the estimation for 34 and 35, David? If all the clarifications are done.
Yeah, sure, of course. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So I will share my screen then. Okay. So can you all see my screen?
Yes, I can see a screen.
Okay, thank you. So for 34, story point. Just the table of only after he is done, you will work on it, right? Okay. So 3 points. So 5 points. You're not going to work together.
We're not going to work. That
For
one
us,
saying
yeah.
for us,
For
just
us.
we have to fetch the content from the JSON file and we'll be displaying the unit. When we click on the unit, we'll be displaying the levels.
I'm asking about the complexity of his points, not the man-based calculation.
No. I'm saying for development
developer
we need
work,
2
it is,
points.
yes.
For UI he's asking 3 points. So the
Because in
total
this
points
case,
will be
UI
5.
work is more.
See, that expand and collapse is 35, I guess.
That is 35, yes. This is just a list of table. I think this we need to about the estimation process.
No, all these 35. 45 is expand and collapse. That you will be.
You need to tap it and expand. 3 points. Say for you. 3 points. Okay, so moving on to
How many? 13.
for each person, you are expected to take 2 stories per person. So which means
Total.
at least 2. Not strictly 2, at least 2. You can take 3 or 4. Priority is more different. Now, I don't know how many points you have.
13.
18 points. Okay. Theme of 66. I want to see a call to action both before first non-sample unit so that I can see which elements are free. Open the menu of let's see a list of units. Before the first non-sample unit, there is an additional word leading to an invitation screen.
Okay, this is the
middle one. Sure.
yeah. Wait, I'll show that.
Without logging and unlocking, other units are disabled. About the first
So this is the one. So like you can see, this will be sample. But this unit 2 is disabled.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So we want it like this. So like in this unit 2 will be disabled. It's a call to action. Unlock all that. Yeah. No. Free sample will be listed first, and then that call to action. This. Yeah. Same as in like this screen 03.
No. See, 2 types of functionality will appear. One is which will disable.
We'll be displaying this thing from the relation. So whichever is not downloaded and not accessed, the user will be disabled.
See, this will disable in spite whether the user has logged in or not.
Yeah.
So before that we'll take log. Okay. Yeah, David. Yeah, we have just a query. So in that mockup, actually, if you see, unit 1 is enabled and unit 2 is disabled, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So unit 1 is free sample. So unit 2. See, if the user has logged in, we need to enable the unit 2 or what?
No, it is described later on in another issue. So when the user has scanned an activity code, right, so a QR code,
okay,
and he hasn't, then we need to unlock the other units for this user.
Okay.
We need to refer to a server app to see if this code hasn't been used yet. And then if it hasn't been used yet, then we display the entire table. Sometimes we remove the call to action rows.
No, sorry. Can you come back?
Your voice is breaking.
So we want me to repeat?
Yeah, your voice is still breaking, David. It's still breaking.
Okay. So when the user initially, he or she has just one row, just one unit.
Sorry, your voice is.
And then when you scan a QR code for an activity, and when
David, sorry to interrupt. We still can't hear you.
Your voice is not clear.
Yeah, your voice is
Okay.
getting loud. It's breaking in the middle.
Is it better now?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So when the user starts using the app, he or she has only one available.
Sorry, David. It's still. It goes low and high.
David, can you please reconnect?
Okay, sure.
Your microphone, maybe.
Okay, how many points we need to take according to our velocity?
Hear me now? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I can still hear myself. I need to survive that. Okay, so when you open the app for the first time, you just have one unit as a sample unit.
Okay.
But when you scan a QR code for any activity, we check if this code or this code has been used for a user. If yes, then we do not unlock other units. So if we haven't been used yet, we unlock our unit for this user in at this particular level.
Okay,
It is all described in other
David, are you able to hear? Is it?
No.
David, your network. I think your
Sorry,
network has some
facing
issues.
Yeah.
In this room it will happen. No.
It's
Previously
okay.
it was clear only, but now it got.
David, you could do one thing. You could just turn off your video and try that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Please speak now. We'll check if we are able to hear you.
Okay. So initially, each user has just one unit. Right?
No.
Okay. David, we still have that problem. Okay, so let me try to explain what you had said. I'll repeat whatever you said. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. So initially, the user will have only one sample unit.
Yes. At each level.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sample unit in each level. Okay. So when he goes on and then tries to unlock using the QR code, we'll check if that user has already accessed that QR code.
Well, actually, whether this QR code for this particular book has been used.
Okay. For that particular book.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it is not used, then we'll provide the access to him.
We unlock the entire all units. Yeah. For this level, actually, because one level is
Okay, so if we had already, if the QR code for that book had already been accessed, what we do then?
If he or she does not have access, then we display call to action with view shown in practice. Hero force can help. Well, yeah, no, if it has been used, then we just display. This code has been. Sorry.
No, the way we
are
we're not
still
able to
facing
understand.
the issue. We can't able to hear you properly.
Mm-hmm.
There is some network issue, I guess.
Okay, we'll do just move it from your side and try it from other side. No, David, I guess if you just leave this call and join back again, we'll try it. Okay,
Or maybe you can add it in description. It'll be very long day.
If you want me to add anything to this, what you want me to add, I'm gonna do it.
David, is it okay if you could rejoin the call because we are
Still facing the issue.
we couldn't hear you properly.
Okay.
Sorry about that. See, சொல்லுங்க சரி.
என்ன பண்றது?
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Is it any better?
Yes.
When you talk small sentence, it's fine, but when you go on long phrases, it gets break in the middle.
I think now it's fine, right?
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
then we'll.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you explain?
Could you
the QR code part? Sorry?
Yeah. Could you repeat your last question that you wanted me to answer?
Okay. So when the user scans the QR code and he has not accessed it, then we show that 04 scan help screen. Correct?
No, it's all described in another. Let me find it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's described in PMOB 39.
39. Okay. As a user, I want to see an invitation display for a store.
See, okay, if the user scans an activity QR code but has not added the activities book to his or her account, will display an invitation screen. When the user taps Let's Go, we open the login screen. When the user logs in, we ask him or her to scan the code.
So we just displayed the file that is in the. It's 04 scan help.
Yeah.
And then when he taps Let's Go, because there is a Let's Go button, we ask him to log in, and then we display a content if it's still okay to use the product, right? So if it's available for this user.
Okay. So how does he add that activity book to his account?
Could you repeat that?
So in the description you said the user scans the activity QR code but has not added the activity book to his account. Then we display that 04 scan help screen, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so how does he add this activity book to his account? Do we have
by scanning code? So we scan the QR code of an activity, right? And if it's still available, this QR code available for this use, we ask him to log in and we add it to his account.
David, your voice is still breaking. We're not able to hear half the words you say.
So let me describe it. Maybe it's going to be better.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. David, can you just hold back for 5 minutes? We'll just change the meeting.
Sure. Of course, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. We'll just put you on hold. Yeah.
And I will describe it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Sure. Thanks.
Hi, David.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You can hear us properly, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Okay. We can hear you.
So the thing that user opens the app, she's in the table of contents, probably the first one will go to the method. And then we scan the QR code and activity. We are not the level for him. We must add validation. Product has been delivered before. So I think that the code.
David, sorry, your voice is still breaking. We're not able to understand your.
Okay, so I'm gonna describe that. I'm gonna finish describing that. Let's just give me a second.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, David.
Okay.
Background noises.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's better now, I guess.
I think that there is a yes, I can compromise whenever I say myself, and that's
Now your voice is breaking a lot.
yes, because there is a
Can you hear me, David?
yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, for me it's very very good now because I do not hear myself anymore.
Okay, fine.
That's much better.
Yes. Got. Okay then.
Okay, so coming back to this topic of QR codes, well, this is described in another issue. That's why we have a problem here, right? Because I would need to link it so that you can see the link between these.
Okay. So this screen will only once we say let's go, it will take you to the login screen, right?
So yeah, when you scan a code and you're not logged in, you're taken to the login screen. Yeah, exactly. No. First of all, you have this screen, and then when you tap "Let's go," you're taken to the login screen. And if you log in, everything is okay with the code. You're taken to the activity. Yes.
Okay.
So
Great.
in that case, we do the login.
So
Easy to execute.
where does the user? Okay.
Yeah.
So the scan tab will have this product scan, right? Am I right or?
Well, the problem is that I thought that there were some QR codes for products, but it turns out that there are going to be just QR codes for activities, and these QR codes for activities are going to unlock products.
You mean to say when we scan the activity code, it will also unlock the product?
Exactly.
Okay.
If
Okay, just let.
some other product and in that product QR is present. If I scan from the current course or current product, it will navigate to the next product.
No. Not like that.
He
See.
said it will get unlocked, right? If I scan from this product to that product, I'll get both the products.
Yes.
Non-product activity.
No. See. From
You scan a QR code for an activity and it unlocks a product for you, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, David, we got it. So,
Are we done with? Okay.
Not yet. See, in that different, like we have an image that is, we need one is enabled, we need two is disabled.
okay.
So for that, we need to scan the QR code.
Okay.
So while scanning the QR code, we'll show that Let's Go page.
Yeah.
If the user is logged in, we'll directly allow the camera access to scan the QR code.
Correct.
Otherwise, we'll allow the user to log in.
Logs in, you can scan that activity.
Okay.
Sorry. I can see that in the description. It is misleading because it says that if user logs in, we ask him to scan the product. Now we don't scan the product anymore, right? We just when he logs in, after scanning a QR code, an activity QR code, we add this product to his account. We do not ask him to scan the product. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So would you be updating the description for this?
Yes, I have just updated it.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
See,
Yeah.
that image on this next query. So in the can you take that image? Sorry, the
Okay.
disabled one and enabled one.
This one.
Yes, wait.
Yeah.
Okay. See, as soon as he taps, see, you will put the Let's Go and login will log in. That's fine. See, after the user logged in, again we'll be enabling in the same screen, right?
We'll be after the scanning is completed, we'll be redirecting him to the current page,
Or that levels are that page. Yeah, this page.
It will come to this.
So
you are
we'll
saying
come
that
to
it
this
will
and
come-
we'll enable the level 2.
No.
What exactly?
We'll come to the current page only because in that we'll be having different units, right?
Okay. David, we have a question here. So once the user is logging in and then scans the activity code. Okay.
Yes.
So now the product is also unlocked for him. Now, which screen should we go to? We should take him to that activity player, or we should show that Epic level 1 screen with all the levels unlocked.
So let me clarify. So if the user has logged in, but hasn't unlocked any products yet, so he scans an activity code, right? Is that correct? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Yes, if you found the activity.
Yeah. So then we take him to this screen where you have let's go. So the one that is described in the mockups, right? So scan help.
Okay.
So the blue one. But when he taps let's go, right? We immediately go to this activity, right? So we just omit this login button, login screen, right? Because he has already logged in, right?
Yeah.
So immediately go to the activity. We add this this product. We unlock this product for this user, and then we go to the activity.
The screen number is 06 activity player. You're saying that screen, right?
Yes, this one. Yes, this one. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So do you want me to add the screen number?
Yeah, you can add.
I have one more query. If directly the user enters into my profile and logs in, where it will be redirecting the user? Instead of entering.
Could you repeat the beginning, because I understood the latter part, but I did not get the beginning. Could you repeat that?
Yes, David. If the user directly enters into my profile and logs in, if he completes the registrations, where he will be redirected? We have my profile tab right in the bottom. In there we have login. If the user, instead of entering into the Epic app, if he moves to the my profile and logs in, where the user will be redirected?
When he logs in, he just stays on this screen, right? At this on this my profile. So if he goes to my profile and logs in from there, then he stays in my profile and he can go to home and go to the activity.
Okay, then in that case, inside the Epic level 1, we'll be showing again the unlock all practice QR.
There we won't show the login. We just directly allow the user to scan.
She's asking whether we'll show that unlock QR
Unlock
code.
the QR code.
I think we'll still be showing.
I see. So he or she has logged in, and he or she has some contents, some products unlocked. Is that correct? Right?
Yes, yes.
No, in case he has no products unlocked right now, we'll still be showing that, right? Even though he has
let me see. It's described here. Log in to browse the content. On the login screen, user is supposed to provide his/her username and password. Okay. So I think no. So I think that when the user has logged in from my profile, we need to go to home and reload the screen, I think, because then if it turns out that the user has access to some products, see them. So I think that I need to change that. I would need to maybe not change, but I need to add this information to the description. So when the user logs in from my profile, we automatically go to Home tab and reload the table of contents. It's that. It's in PMOB 48. It's described in PMOB 48.
Okay. Reload the table of contents. Okay. So what about the first time, David? So the user, let's assume the user has not accessed any products, and he had registered and logs in. He is just registered and logged in. So in that case, we'll just be showing that sample app, right? Sample unit and unlock using QR code. We'll show like that, right? Am I right?
Yeah. So the user opens the app. He immediately sees Epic, right? The Epic button. He does not need to log in or anything, right? And when he taps Epic, he goes to levels. He can choose from level 1 to level 8. He taps whichever level he or she wants. He sees units, but just unit 1 is available to him. Unit 2 is preceded by this call to action row, and these are grayed out. It's all described in another in other issues, and then he can play with unit 1, right, for each level. If he or she scans an activity code, we ask him to log in. We assign this product to this user, and then he can start using this product completely.
Okay. Okay, we got it.
See, after that user scans that QR code, will be hiding this QR code from the table box.
Am I right? David, once the user scans the code, we have to hide this unlock all practice with a QR code, that message from the screen, right?
Yes, exactly.
Or we should just disable or hide it.
No, we remove this call to action. We remove this row.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From where we'll get whether the user is unlocked or not?
From the TPP.
From JSON. First time we'll update the JSON. If she logs in, call the API call.
Wait. I'm looking at the title of this issue that you're displaying. Which one is that? 39. And to invitation to scanner products code. Yeah, because let me describe why this one is a bit misleading. Again, in the morning, I received an email which changed the fact that what we are developing at the moment is that when you scan the activity code, you unlock the product. Previously, it was that you need to scan a product code. That's why we have this remnant of the past, right? So this is an old issue here, right? So it should be, as soon as I want to see an invitation to scan, let me see, as soon as I want to see an invitation view when I tap a call to action row, right? If I get access, wait, invitation to scan, no, to log in, yeah. So to scan, I want to see an invitation to log in. If I scan a section's QR code, I do not have access to. Okay, so it should be like that.
Okay.
So I'm changing it. I'm changing it to make it clear now. Well, I tried to update all of them, but I failed. It seems. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So the description has been updated and the title has been updated too. So if you reload it, it should be fine.
Same story, 39. Okay, here. Extension number. Is it right?
Yes. Okay.
JSON operation. If I'm unlocking the product, then if I'm unlocking the product, I'll get the JSON files again for listing out the units levels.
No.
Again, the API calls will be going on if I unlock the product. Then how I'll get the product
Without
details?
JSON, how will display that?
Okay. Please, excuse me, could you reload it, refresh it again? It should be clear. Okay.
PMOB 39, right?
I want to see an invitation to log in. If I scan a QR code for an activity of a product I do not have access to remind me to unlock it. Again, sorry. To unlock a product. No, not to unlock. To remind me.
Again, refresh.
See, anyway, the activity we need to validate whether it was already used or not.
Okay, fine.
For a product only, we allow multiple products to scan. You got the point. See, for products, we can allow multiple scanning.
No, single scan. Activity only can be scanned multiple times. You can take up the activity many times. But product, once it gets access, that's it.
Okay,
You
he
cannot.
said every time if the user opens the API call will be sent, right? If for the first time I have unlocked the unit 2, the JSON will be updated through the API call or locally will update the JSON.
Okay, so I updated the title and the description.
Okay, I'm refreshing it.
If that's so, for each user, each JSON will be there. See, right?
David, the JSON structure will have only the structure of that, only the TOC contents, or it will have that user details, like whether he has unlocked the product or so.
No, the JSON is going to contain just the contents, and we are figuring it out how to tag the units that are going to be disabled, right? So that you can see that this unit should be disabled for this user. Okay, we're still figuring it out. I will let you know how they're going to be tagged in JSON.
Okay. Okay.
So as of now, there is no concrete solution for that, right, David?
For JSON.
Could you repeat?
Okay.
Okay. So,
For now.
okay.
Okay, could you repeat your last question?
No solution.
No, the JSON for now the JSON is not concrete that how it will be, how the structure will be there, right? Whether the user is unlocked the product or not.
No, but it should be ready. I know tomorrow or in 2 days at the latest. I'm working on that. Okay.
Okay.
So I will let you know. I will let you know as soon as I receive it from the content team.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. This is also dependent.
Yeah, I'm sure you will get it by end of the day.
So
So,
39, right?
yeah, can
39.
you provide me the story points?
Mm.
At 8 points.
Can we split this?
You want to split?
Yes,
Because
definitely.
Mini login also comes under this.
David, we have a small suggestion here. Could we just break this story into two?
Okay, but I'm wondering why we moved to 39 immediately, because we still have 68, 36, 37, and others that are more important. And
Actually,
Okay.
yeah, we made in 66 and we moved to 39 as it is dependent
Okay.
story. Right?
Yeah, due to the queries, we
So
got carried
moving
over.
on to the first one, 66. Okay.
Okay, before first one sample units so that I can see which one is. Okay,
that is enable and disable.
Just the
Hmm.
that's all. From JSON
I'm navigating to the camera. Your
5 points.
3.
Check. 3 points. Agreed.
Disable, enable, and
Enable and disable. On 8 times.
Okay. I'll just do this.
Forest
Screens,
three points,
table of
four points.
contents, 3 only, right?
Yes.
Third one.
Yeah.
This whole screen.
3 points. Fine. Okay. So,
Okay.
Next story we won't give that keyword.
We won't
Just we'll
display
show the
Name.
sample content and we'll disable the
remaining.
We have that button to navigate to that screen.
Yes,
Just
yes,
navigation.
yes,
We'll not
yes,
move
yes.
to the login part.
Okay, fine. Next.
okay. So moving on to next.
68.
68.
We want the non-sample units to be created so that I can easily
This
see.
is
Okay, this
easy
is
Great. 1 point.
on point.
so this one is straightforward, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But the data.
Do you have a dependency here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
How to JSON, whether the user
JSON
has
you
not
get it
purchased
by
or not.
end of T2.
It is
Okay,
dependent
okay.
on the story.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying like
agreed,
that.
agreed.
Okay.
You want to download a piece of content.
Okay, so moving on to the next one.
36.
36.
Complete activities.
Okay, the download button should appear. Right to the
Okay.
then the button should be
In the-
displayed.
Take that mock-up screen. I'll.
Yeah.
Which one you want me to?
No, how many points?
22. That doesn't matter actually.
No, but we don't
You
feel
just
like
have
we are
to
the download
look
button.
like how much you can complete. Just
but it's not
not based on the story.
we don't feel like we are
Overloaded.
overloaded.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Already it's overloaded.
Download button should appear
don't have
and
to
right of
say
name
this
of
one.
unit or lesson. Okay, so this is
You said that story points.
Just talking about
David, regarding this story,
It will have
Mhm.
yeah, I'll just explain. Please correct me if I'm wrong. In the 8th screen, initiate lesson download in our Zeppelin mockup, we have the the screen is there, and if the user clicks on download for each and every lesson, suppose if he downloads all the lessons individually, then the unit download button should get hidden. And in the
Yes.
same way, if the user clicks on the units button download, the other ones should get disabled.
Exactly.
So that's what is the acceptance criteria for this story, right, David?
Yes.
Okay.
So here we need to understand all the scenarios.
So 8 points.
estimation should be accurate, please.
Team of 36.
8 points.
If it is 8, should we break down?
He's
That's
having
what
lots
I'm
of
thinking.
work to do in this.
Let him talk now.
இது create பண்ணி நான் download பட்டன்லாம் நீங்க பண்ணுங்க.
8 one.
Thanks.
Okay, wait. We need to understand the download button.
See, unit download separately we have to handle, and lesson download separately we have to handle.
And
That's what
also
I'm saying.
when the unit is downloading, we
We have
show
to
something download. If it was
We have to
downloaded,
Is there a
we'll
stop
update
button
disable
in this
other-
case
Yes.
also?
Yeah.
and we need to disable all other downloads.
We have
to
cancel
dis-
option,
Ah.
and it should display a pop-up saying asking yes or no.
If we need to handle all the internal scenarios.
It will include downloads.
It took
I think it will.
We have to break this
You
into
don't have
two
that function.
Unit
units
separately and
download
levels
and
separately.
levels separately.
Then
But like that you can
we can
uh,
split it into unit separately and levels separately.
unit and lessons separately.
Okay.
David, can we split this story into two? Naming in the first story, we can handle the cases for the unit download alone. We can check the internet connection, and if it's not there, we can show a pop-up. And when we handle this units download, we can disable all these lessons download.
One more query here.
And in the next story, we'll handle for the lessons download, and depending on the units thing, we can disable this one. Is it?
We have a query here. See, on the unit download button, the user download, press on download button, and see, we can able to see 2 units are downloaded, and now the internet connectivity is stopped. What will happen from the next download?
And if it also in this will be having
Is that fine, David? We can split this story into two.
So you want me to split the story into 2 parts. So the first one when you download a unit, and the second one when you download a separate lesson, a single lesson.
Yes.
Okay. Right. No problem. No problem.
Yeah. And we have a query here. Like suppose if the user clicks on the unit download button, and for example, assume that 3 units have, 3 lessons have downloaded, and when the user downloads, when the fourth, when the connectivity goes off in the middle. So in that case, the download should resume for all the units. For all the lessons, right from the beginning.
Yes.
Yes.
Carry,
For all the lessons history.
Because there won't be redundancy. Suppose if the user downloads 3 units alone, and from there if he downloads the 4th unit, data might not be exactly downloaded. That's our suggestion.
You got
Okay. Okay. Right. So I can follow your suggestion. Yes.
Yeah, because if the connection gets lost, we'll delete whatever has been downloaded and then reinitiate the download again.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Okay.
That would be a good solution, right, David?
Yes. Yeah. That's absolutely fine.
Okay.
okay, in that case, if the unit will be containing all the audios and videos contents, right? Where we'll save it? Where we'll save the contents in the device?
the storage.
Could you repeat the last part of the question?
Yes, David. If the user downloads the unit will be containing audio files, video files. If
Yes.
it's so, where will be saving the files in the device? Will be storing it in the user device? Or
Yes.
In that case, if the user deletes the app content, again will resume the download button.
Yes.
That is, we'll
Again, the download button will be shown.
For this, we'll be including any securities for audios and videos.
Exactly, yes. We need to implement because
Like some form of encryption to the downloaded data,
Encryption
or
to
we'll
download.
just hide it.
For audios and videos.
Should we just hide the downloaded data, or should we do some sort of encryption to prevent unauthorized access to the data?
So if so let's start from the beginning because I got lost. So the user has downloaded the data, right? Is that correct?
Yes, David.
And we simply hide the download buttons.
No, we are not asking about the download buttons. We are asking about the downloaded contents. Once we store it in the user's device, is it enough if we hide the data from the user's device? Like for Android, if you see, basically what we do is we'll just hide the downloaded contents,
and it won't show. I mean, the downloaded contents won't be showing in the user's gallery or music player applications.
But yeah, we are just speaking about the security purpose. That is when after the user downloads, we are asking about we need to encrypt or how, or we don't want any security, because after download
no, we don't want security for now. No, we do not need any security, because this is going to make things slower while we need to focus on making this faster now.
Okay. Yeah, but in that case, user can able to take the raw data, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Okay, which is why I wanted to clarify that thing, David.
Yeah.
If we delete the audios and videos from after, if we kill the details, clear the data of the application.
Again, the download button will get.
Audios and videos will be placed in the device, right? Or whether even it also will be getting deleted if we clear the app data. We are placing it in SD card, right? We are going to place it in internal storage of the device. Yes. If we kill the app details, the internal storage will be getting deleted. Then again, if it's extra bugs, right? If we kill the app,
Kill that or clear the app data.
Clear the app
data. Audios and videos in SD card. Are they clear and app data clear? Audios and videos clear.
We'll enable the download button.
David, we have a small confusion here. Like in the case of Android, iOS, this case will work perfectly. But in the case of Android, when the user downloads an application, and after that, suppose if he downloads audios, videos, or some content from the application data will be stored in some place. Internal storage, for example. So after he suppose if he deletes the app data from the settings or somewhere, the data downloaded from the application will remain there.
Okay, and we cannot remove it. Why can't we remove it?
Because suppose if the user clears the data, I mean deletes something from our application, we have coded it. I mean, that case will work perfectly. We can handle that.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see. So the user removes the data not from the app, but from some other way. Is that?
Yeah, exactly.
And we cannot detect this situation. So we cannot detect this situation.
Yeah, we faced the same case in our Longman application. That's why we have this query.
Okay, and how did you solve that in Pearson Go?
Not in Pearson Go.
Storing in the CAD. So
it was in Longman we faced this issue.
We'll be storing the data in the CAD. If we delete the app data, then not.
Okay, so I say that the best way would be that if he tries to open it and we cannot find it on the disk, we should display a pop-up to the user that there is an error, and we should show the content. We should set it as not downloaded, so the user would have to download it again.
We'll enable the user for download. That's it, right?
Okay,
we'll
then we have to handle the permission issues. Sorry, asking description.
See, now what is
for Android, we need to ask the permission.
The query is, see, what she is asking, the user will be downloaded and kept in internal. Okay. See, if the user uninstalled the app, all the content will be lost. Obviously, yes. See, the method of downloading and saving the data differs. In your case, you are giving a particular path and saving it there. But then, in the case of a hybrid application, there will be path like file, asset, some different type of path will be there. In the case of a hybrid application, I guess his solution might be working correctly. See, take Pearson Go. Take Pearson Go app. See, exactly. If we uninstall the app, every other will get lost.
Yes. See, in Pearson Go, we are storing in CAD, not in internal storage of it. Can you show me the internal storage? You have
okay, wait. See, in case you are storing that in internal storage, how will you store that? It will be stored.
Sorry for the delay, David. We have a discussion over here.
If you uninstall the app, our app package will get deleted.
In NDFC already we are saving the application. In NDFC, we are giving the path where the extracted file should be displaying, right?
Yes.
If I uninstall, the package will be remaining the same. Already we have placed it. That's what I'm saying.
In the case of LDOC, that is different. But in the case of
Okay, if it's so, what is it doing? Right. Then okay, no problem for me.
One more query. See, wait. See, when the user downloads only lesson 1 and lesson 2. Okay. See, remaining we have still 3 more lessons. 3, 4, 5. If you downloaded by the user, the top of that unit will be updating the size.
what size?
You got what I'm asking?
Okay, okay.
It's the total size.
Yeah.
Okay, then if the user, in that case, after that user presses on unit download button, we need to download everything.
Yes, if we presses unit download, it will download all the lessons.
Once the user downloads 1 or 2 lessons, 1 or 2 lessons under this units page, the units download button will get disabled. Okay. Okay. No, that's what the previous story was.
Yes, yes.
So that case won't happen.
And again, you have to want to check the space.
Yeah, for each and every download.
Yeah,
check
check
the
the
space.
space.
Yes, yes.
Which one? That 125 we are saying.
Even yes, exactly.
No, I think that is total size, right? No.
Yes, yes.
We have a query here. Like, suppose if the user downloads unit 1 and unit 2, lesson 1 and lesson 2 under the unit 1, we have the unit 1 size as 125 MB, right? Should we calculate the size based on the lesson 1 and lesson 2 downloaded size and display the remaining size, or that 125 MB has to remain the same?
No, let's keep it. But is it difficult to calculate the remaining size?
We guess it would be difficult, David, because this one it's loaded from the server. From the JSON, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for every, suppose if we are displaying a unit size for every lesson, I guess that would work out. But then here we are not displaying any size.
Mm-hmm.
We are just displaying the units size only.
Okay, so let's keep it as so let's display just the one that is there, right? So we do not display we do not recalculate it. We just display as if there was nothing downloaded.
Okay, so that 125 MB should remain the same in all the cases.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, David.
So that's the download, but we'll start the download again.
Yes.
So we'll override unit.
Okay,
So,
David.
Are we going to split the story into 2?
Yes.
Unit separately and lesson separately.
Unit separately and lesson separately. Okay, if so, story point for units. Story.
Wait, we need to number the instance.
Then
Total
it's
size,
space.
space. See, if user does not have enough space, we will show the pop-up.
Exactly. There are 4 or 5 conditions involved here.
So in that, how we
No, we'll
say
do one
this
thing.
much space is required for this app to download the
No, that you can see. Even though we are taking it.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
In Pearson Go,
later
we know
we
this
can
much
just-
of space is enough for this download.
David, we have a query again. Suppose if the user downloads 1 or 2 lessons under the unit section, suppose if the total size of the unit is 100 MB and the user has only 50 MB of free space in his device, should we display a pop-up saying please clear up 50 more MB to download this unit?
Yes, exactly. So we just display that you don't have enough space to download this piece of content. Please remove some content. Yeah. So,
Okay, that's what I was going to ask next.
Okay.
So for the
Unit download, memory, internet
Space.
check,
Permission.
Permissions.
Storage permissions. Then
This thing we have to disable the lessons download.
downloads.
Units download, we have to disable the
Other units we have to disable the download button.
so almost 6 or 7.
So,
But then once the first one is done, the second one we can use the same conditions again. Will we reach 5 points?
Yeah, because you're just going to mimic the same functionality for both the stories, right? So, right?
No. If you are downloading unit wise, it will be different.
Okay.
Lesson wise, I mean, some aspects will be same, but
Download functionality is the same.
Space issue.
Only those two conditions we can reuse. That's it.
We have to handle many conditions in this. I think for units we'll give 8 points, even for lessons we
You
can
said
give 5
8 points, then we broke into 2 stories.
We have to handle separately.
Complexity
There
is
are a lot
there.
of scenarios for each.
But 3 scenarios is common for both the stories.
That's
So
why
you
that-
can.
that's why that-
There we are giving 3 and here we are giving 8.
So for units you need 8
8
points.
points, and for lessons we go with 5 points. I think we are over.
And David, I think we have crossed 1.5 hours in addition to our planned time. I think we are in the middle of your lunch time, I guess, right?
Okay.
Is it okay to continue, or what is your?
Yes, absolutely fine, but we can continue if you want now, or if you want to have a comfort break of 15 minutes, then I can go and grab something to eat if you want. It's up to you.
We can't go over. This is enough for us. For this print, this much stories is enough.
So we feel that this is
Enough for
How
us.
many stories so far we have taken?
how many points?
3, 6, 10.
It's enough.
How many times?
velocity point.
Plus 5, 30.
You got to see every story is typically
30.
And more or less everything is on dependent.
Moreover, every story
No,
will get.
dependency is.
Okay,
Okay, that's all. Even if
Don't
it is
consider the dependency.
okay,
from
even
that.
though if we
We are
get
not
it,
considering. Yes, we feel like
They have only 6 days, right?
yeah, we have only 6 days. We have.
Well, if I could suggest something, if we could include 37
Okay.
in that, then we would have a complete part, and then I think I would be happy, and Gerald would be happy, and everyone would be happy.
Okay. Okay.
So if you could take a look at it and see if it's possible to squeeze it in, then it would be brilliant.
Sure. Select an activity from the table of contents, tap an appropriate entry, and save activity. And download a replay to the lesson.
After
This
finishing,
activity we can't do right now.
finishing only after takes that is
complete. Or else.
Anything. Definitely.
David, the team feels like this would be a.
We'll do
Or
below
can we
it.
do
If
one thing,
it is
David?
possible, we'll pull it from backlog.
Uh,
Like once we complete all the currently
Stories?
taken stories,
We'll pull
then
it from
we'll
backlog.
In the middle of sprint or something like that? Would
I
that
think
be
because
okay?
we feel like this will be, we'll just have only just enough time to complete all this. Like, it'll be very tight schedule, I guess.
No, you need to repeat it. Could you repeat that?
actually.
No, I mean the stories that we have taken up so far. So that it will put us on a tight schedule. So it'll be just, it'll
So
be
it's
a close.
impossible to include 37 in that.
If
No,
in that
we'll,
case, if we finish it in advance and early, we'll pull it off for the current sprint and we'll work on it.
Okay, all right. Okay, so if anything goes faster, then we could include that, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, all right. So let's do it. Let's do it this way. So what I'm going to do, well, I have already started that when you were discussing. I'm gonna update these backlog issues so that they're clearer, right? I'm sorry if anything is unclear. I'm sorry for my confusion at the beginning. It's it's our first sprint planning, so sorry about that.
No, it's good that we have the discussion so that we can be more clear.
We had a very long discussion.
Yeah.
Everyone got the requirement clear.
Yeah, but it was. I'm sorry for taking so much of your time because it took so long. But I hope that it was. Well, I believe that our next sprint plannings are going to be much better.
Not a problem.
Not a problem, David. It's our pleasure.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to update all the backlog issues so to make them even clearer. And if you happen to have any questions, contact me. Whenever you want. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to include all these and start a sprint. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to do it now, or we can simply stop now and do that, and let me do that in a second?
Sorry, David. I actually have to include the story points field as well. So I have raised a ticket for that. So I think better we hold for now. So meantime, you can also update your description. So I'll let you know once that field is enabled and the story points has been updated. So once that is done, we can start the sprint. We can drag all the issues for the current sprint and then we can give start sprint. Is that fine?
But yeah, so you want me first to update the issues and then start the sprint? Yes.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna eat something. I'm gonna grab something to eat, then update the issues and start the sprint. Is that okay?
Sure, David.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So thank you very much. And sorry.
Thank you so much, David.
No, not a problem at all.
We are sorry for taking up your last time.
Yeah, we are actually sorry for a lot of clarification.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.